Look, bro, if you actually want to take this shit serious and make a fuck ton of money, doing SMMA or your agency, whatever online business you're running, you cannot be out here listening to these courses, these gurus telling you to sell your services for a couple grand per month retainer and just doing short form content for your clients. That's all bullshit, bro. Like right now, I'm here in Mexico at a beautiful resort, grinding, lots of beautiful women here, lots of beautiful food, beautiful people, like everything you could ever want. Like I'm living that, that Instagram reel guru lifestyle right now, bro. And it's not because I just, listen to these people. It's because you have to position your pricing. You have to structure your pricing in a way where you're solving a specific painful problem for your customer. And then once you solve that specific problem, it creates a new problem that needs to be solved. And then you charge more money. Okay, and so the whole point of this video is I want to talk about Ascension versus Descension pricing models. And it kind of sounds fancy, but it's really not. They're complete opposites of each other. And so I'm just going to break down this first one, which is Ascension pricing model. What is an Ascension pricing model? Essentially, you have your front end offer. And so this is where you're driving all your traffic to. This is the first initial thing you're selling. And so let's say this prospect, whoever you're selling to is struggling with a problem. They're struggling with problem number one. So they go ahead and buy your thing and you solve problem number one for them if you're good enough. You need, core business 101 is you need to have a good product. Okay, if you do not have a good product, it doesn't matter what type of pricing model, ascension, descension, fancy, retainer, it all falls apart. Okay, you need to have a good fucking product, or else nobody's gonna buy. People are gonna talk shit on whatever you're selling. Your reputation's gonna go down, and it's all gonna go to shit. Okay, so 101, before I even talk about the pricing, is you need to have a good product. Okay, and that's a whole different topic for another video. But how you price that product can, make the difference between you making 10K per month and 100K per month. Okay, and so you have your front end offer where you're solving the first initial problem for your prospect. From there, if you solve it, which hopefully you do if you have a good product, if you solve it, it should create a second problem for your prospect. And then from here, if you're leveraging the Ascension pricing model structure, you can charge more money to solve that specific problem for them. Let me give you an example. So for example, let's say they buy my program or whatever I'm selling to help them solve client acquisition. Let's say I solve client acquisition for them. Now they have a problem of systems, of backend, of talent, of fulfillment. And I can be like, hey, I can charge you even more, or, I can solve all that for you. I'm going to charge you a bit more money, but you saw that we already solved this initial problem. So you already trust me. Let's just stay in business together. And you cross-sell them, you upsell them on solving the second problem that needs to be solved. Okay. Now the second one is the Ascension pricing model. It's the same thing. It's just the complete opposite, where you're solving their first problem, and then once you solve that the first problem, a second problem is created, and now you're just charging less money to solve that second problem. So for an example of this could be like you solving, let's say they need to work on their systems, okay, and you place these systems for them. And you solve that problem for them. Now, what the problem that they encounter is they need someone to manage those systems that you put into their business. And so you can be like, hey, we charge you 10K to put these systems into your business, which now you need someone to actually manage these systems that we put into your business. If you pay us 1 or 2K per month, we'll have someone manage the systems for you on a recurring basis. Okay, and so that's just the foundation, the 101 concept of how Ascension and Descension pricing model actually works. But why should you actually pick one? Okay, why not just stick with a normal recurring monthly retainer and just keep it simple? The reason why you should choose one of the following pricing models is simple: retention. Okay, the easiest way to make money is to sell something to an existing customer, but there's actually an art to cross-selling. You don't want to just randomly mention random products and just fuck it all up. There's actually a specific strategy you need to leverage when it comes to cross-selling. Okay, and so the best way to cross-sell an existing customer is to be good enough to solve a specific problem for them. Okay, the more specific and the more painful the problem is to whoever you're targeting, the more money you can charge for it. Okay, and so once a specific problem has been solved for them, they will encounter new problems, which is where you can cross-sell them. And you must choose whether you'll be upselling or downselling your existing customers. Okay, and so this is just whatever business you end up running in your lifetime, always keep this in mind. Every customer should be a node in a network of people that keep paying you. You never want to be playing the game of you always needing to get more customers, you always training people. You want to play the game of you get a customer and then you have all these different programs or milestones that they can hit and all these problems we can solve for them so they can keep paying us and keep trusting us. And it all goes back to if you have a good fucking product, bro. If your product is dog shit and you can't even solve any problems for anyone and you're just utter shit, bro, you gotta go back to the drawing table and design a good product and a good fulfillment. Okay, but you want every customer to be a node paying you different prices and always trying to retain as much customers as possible. And so whatever you do not be a general problem solver, okay? And so what a general problem solver looks like is you onboard a client and then, they have a short-form content problem or a payday agency problem, or like, these like bullshit SMMA services that everyone's selling, okay? First of all, it's commoditized. Second of all, you're not really solving a painful problem. You're solving a recurring general problem, which you're competing on price, bro. You do not want to be competing on price, okay? And so what it looks like is you keep solving the problem until 1 month you fuck up and then your customer leaves you, okay? It's fucked, bro. It really is fucked. And so what you want to be doing is you want to solve a specific painful problem, okay? And it all goes back to who you're selling and knowing what problems they're facing. You got to make sure you got to know exactly what problems they're facing. And so how do you actually structure the Ascension or Descension pricing model, okay? I want to show you a couple different examples of the most popular ways people in the industry are doing it. The best ways I've seen people make a lot of money with it. And just depending on where you're at with your business and what type of offer you're running, you're going to want to choose based off of, you're playing to your strengths. And so when it comes to this is a Descension way, and this is kind of the most simple way I'd recommend if you're just getting into the game, or you have some experience, but now you want to sell your offer in a more leveraged way. It's pretty simple. Your front end offer should be like an infrastructure almost. It's known as the build and release offer. All the build and release offer is your customers facing problem number one, and the way you solve this problem for them is you either place systems, talent, and insights into their business. You place an infrastructure into their business, and you can charge, depending on how good it is, anywhere from $5K to $20K upfront for it. And once you place this infrastructure into their business, most likely the infrastructure is going to create a second problem, which is a recurring need that needs to be solved. So whether it's managing this infrastructure, or you need like some insights, or like a recurring need that this infrastructure creates, you can charge monthly for it, okay? And the beautiful thing about this offer is, since your customer is already paying so much money up front, this looks like nothing to them. So if I pay you $10K for you to place a content infrastructure into my business, and then you're like, hey, if you keep paying us $2K per month, we'll always come out with new content ideas, and we'll always have somebody to put out the videos for you, it's gonna seem like nothing, okay? And so this is really the best way to get started, in my opinion. And so like an example of this would be like, if and this is how we used to do it, an AI skilling system that we sold was, we'd place a content infrastructure into their business for 10, 12K. And from there, they need content ideas, they need insights, they need trending topics, and we charge them like 2-3K per month to always keep rolling that out for them. And the beautiful thing is, this monthly recurring service is very leveraged. It's very easy to provide content ideas and stuff. It's not like you're editing the videos for every client. So keep that in mind. Place an infrastructure up front, and then do something leveraged on the back end and downsell them. So this is an example of a Descension pricing model offer, okay? The second one is the front-end coaching model. And so essentially how this works is, it's basically this, except you're just slapping mentorship or one-on-one coaching or whatever the fuck you want to do on the front end, okay? And the thing about this is, let me just walk you through it. So how it works is, they're facing problem number one. Let's say, I can't get clients. Someone can't get clients, so they come to you, they buy your mentorship offer, okay? And you can charge anywhere 2 to 10K upfront. Unless you have a strong brand, or you're just like really fucking good at selling people, you're probably not going to be charging 7, 8, 10K for just mentorship. And so this is why I kind of recommend stepping away from information as like your front end thing, especially if you don't charge high ticket for it. We're living in an abundant age of information. There's so many content creators, so many people out here posting YouTube videos. You have Hormozy dropping insane gems every day. Like this dude Hormozy is dropping like a fucking video a day. Do you know how crazy that is? A video a day. And it's as more content gets created and more information is put out, the market gets more and more sophisticated, meaning that you charging for your little coaching mentorship offer of how to get an SMMA client. Why would people pay you $10,000 when they could just watch Hormozy's fucking video on how to do client acquisition, CAC LTV to the lifetime ratio? I don't even fucking know, bro. But so you're doing coaching, and then if your coaching solved the problem, and then you can go ahead and place systems, talents, insights into their business, and then from there, same thing, you just do the leveraged recurring service for them. Another problem about this is, the thing with mentorship and selling information is that the success rate of people go through your program is very low, okay? And this is what I've seen with information, is that when you're actually, mentoring someone or giving them information on how to solve whatever problem they want to solve, you're not actually solving it for them. You're just telling them how to solve it. And people are either dumb, stupid, fucking lazy, whatever the case may be. And it's going to be 10 times harder for them to actually get results based off the information that you're giving them. And information loses its value the second it's consumed. Okay. And so this is why I wouldn't, unless you have a strong brand, I would not recommend doing this as the first offer that you run. And this is an ascension. This is a combination of an ascension and a descension offer. It's the ascension and descension pricing models. It's not something black and white where you either have to choose an ascension pricing model or a descension pricing model. You can mix it in. So for example, you have the front end offer, which can be 2 to 10K, and then you ascend up. You can charge even more money because you're placing a hard asset into their business, 5 to 20K upfront, and then from there you're going back down on price because you're doing a leveraged monthly recurring service for them. So for example, you can solve their client acquisition problems with your coaching. From there, they might need help with like their systems and stuff. So you place systems into their business, and then you can get someone to manage those systems. Okay, that's an example of the front end coaching model offer. And if you want to run that, that's what that would look like. And then we have the 3-tier pricing model. Okay, and this is probably if you plan on staying in your industry for a long time and you love your market, this is probably what I'd recommend. And so what this looks like is you have a front-end offer, which can either be a free or low-ticket community. If you're starting out, you're in the beginning of your business, I would not recommend you run a low-ticket community. I recommend you do a free community, because a free community, you're creating a hub of leads. You're creating like almost like a CRM of people in one community who's just focused on the value that you're providing. Okay, so you have a community on the front end, and then from there you have your offer, which can be like you place an infrastructure into their business or you solve a problem for there. And then from there, you can go into an equity model where you actually partner up with them and do more hands-on stuff with their business to, get a piece of their company. Okay. And so that's what these 3 primary ascension, descension pricing models look like. And like I said, depending on where you're at in your business, if you're just starting out, I'd recommend you start out here. If you have somewhat of a brand and you have some experience, some social proof, you can, I'd recommend this middle one. And if you're someone who, I guess if you're also just starting out, or if you really know a lot about your market, you have a lot of insights, you have a way to get results, then you can go. And if you've really systemized things in your business, I recommend this one. Okay. The next thing that's very important that you understand is that there are 3 tiers of brand levels. Okay, 3 brand levels. And so what does it look like? You have a level 1 brand, which is a brand that has over 1 million followers. These are your Imans, your Andrew Tates of the world. Then you have a level 2 brand, which has 100K plus followers. These are your Charlie Morgans, your Liam Audleys. And then you have a level 3 brand, which is under 100K followers. This is my brand. You have Serge Guittari, you have Matt Walsh, just these more specific, more niche type of guys. And how it actually works is that they actually feed into each other. Okay, and so you might be complaining, let's say you have a YouTube channel, you might be like me where you have under 1,000 subscribers, which I'm gonna probably hit like a couple mil by next year. I'm joking, gotta be realistic. But you might have a small YouTube channel, you might be like, damn, oh my god, bro, Andrew Tate, he's like just dominating, he conquered the internet, like I can't make any money because he's stealing all the people. That's actually complete opposite. Okay, it's the way that it works is that Andrew Tate and Iman Gadzhi are creating a market for you. Okay, and so let me actually walk you through specific examples of what it looks like. So let's say put yourself in the shoe of when you first wanted to start an agency or run a business. Okay, you wanted to start an agency, so you go to Iman's $50 a month for his program, which is he's doing like a low ticket program now, digital launchpad, or you might have paid him like $1,000 or $2,000 for fucking agency navigator or whatever you would have did. Okay, maybe you got on the download like I did. Some dude on Discord just sold it to me like fucking $20. But so you pay a small amount of money, okay, relatively small amount of money to learn how to start to learn something broad, which is how to make money, how to start an agency, how to do SMMA. Okay, but the thing is, let's say you learn and now you're running into problems where in this instance you can't book appointments. Okay, you followed every single outreach workflow in this fucking course, and you're not getting any appointments booked. And so what are you gonna do? You're gonna go on YouTube, how to book appointments, and you see, let's say, Charlie Morgan's videos pop up, and you're just binge watching Charlie Morgan because he's putting out all this content on how to book appointments, how to get clients. And it's like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's always talking about how to book appointments, and he's going in depth on this specific problem that I'm having. And so what do? You buy Charlie Morgan's program, whatever the fuck that it may be. I don't even know what it is, but I know it's just some sort of course or program that he talks about, and I'm assuming it's anywhere from 4 to 8K. Okay, because if brand is the strongest lever on pricing that you can pull, and even if it's a course or even if it's not that good, which I don't know if it is, I'm not saying it's not, but you can charge more for it since he has a strong brand. Okay, and so you buy Charlie Morgan's appointment setting course because you're having an appointment setting problem, which you are having because you started an agency in the first place because of Iman. Okay. Now, let's say you go through his course, and whether you solve the problem or not, you're going to run into another problem. Let's say you go through his course and it delivers. You go through his course and now you're booking appointments. Well, now you're booking appointments, but your sales process might be shit, or you can't close, or you can't fulfill, or your systems or your talent, like it just creates so many more problems where now it goes down a level where, let's say I'm booking appointments, but I can't close anyone. Okay. And let's say I can't close anyone, or no, let's say I can't get anyone to show up on a call. Okay. I'm booking all these appointments, but these are unqualified people. These are people who don't give a fuck about what I'm selling. They don't care about who I am. They're not showing up on the call. And so I'm going to be like, show up rate. Why is nobody showing up on my calls? How to improve people showing up on my calls? And I'm going to see these specific channels of people who are talking about how to get people to show up on your calls. And so what's happening now is that you have somebody who's solving an even more specific problem, which you're willing to pay even more money to solve. But in this instance, since you're not booking appointments, you're not making any money. So it really depends on the situation, but just understand that the way it works is you have the level 1 brand, which creates a level 1 problem, which is a broad problem, and then you have a level 2 brand, which creates a level 2 problem, which is a semi-specific problem, which then creates a specific problem which a smaller specific channel can solve. Okay, a specific creator or influencer, whatever you want to call them. Okay, and so how it works is Iman is creating broad, business-rich life content. We've all watched it. We all wanted to be like Iman. Still, maybe you even do want to be like Iman. Maybe you're following in his footsteps. Maybe you're going to one day surpass him. Who knows? The world is crazy. But Iman's creating this broad, business-rich life content. And then, Charlie Morgan is creating SMMA mindset content, which is a bit more specific. And then you're creating even more specific content, which is you're willing to pay more money. And so the more specific the problem you're solving, I cannot restate this enough, the more specific the problem, the more money someone will hand you. If you're like, bro, if you're a garage door business in Herculaneum, Nebraska, who's struggling with getting people to show up on the 5th appointment, and you see somebody who's talking about that exact problem, you're probably going to hand them your credit card over because they know exactly how to solve that specific problem that you're having. Okay. And so, but the thing is, as you grow, you're gonna have more people who are gonna have more problems, and then that's when you can start broadening your messaging or your whatever you're selling or whatever the case may be. Okay, and so why should you leverage the Ascension or Descension pricing model? Let me put it like this: especially if you have an audience of people, especially if you have an audience of people, you're gonna have people who are broke boys, people who are semi-broke boys, semi have money, and then people who are not broke boys, people who do have money. Okay, and so these people are going to be facing different problems and can afford different things. And so depending on the size of your following, you want to hit as many people as you can. You want to be able to sell to as many people in your audience. Okay, and here's another thing: if you're selling to somebody who has no money, but the thing that you sell them, something that they can afford, actually delivers and actually makes them money, and they go from this person to this person, and they go from this person to this person, the level of trust, like if, for example, there's a specific influencer that I've been watching since I couldn't even book a call, since I didn't even know how to do outreach. I've been watching them, and I've been just consuming their pure content, and their content has maybe go from this person to this person. And do you know how much trust I've built up with that person? Okay, and so if you can create an array of products or services within your program or whatever you're selling that can not only sell to the people with the least amount of money, but also nurture them and make them money to the point where they want to buy from you in the future because you've provided a lot of value and you're an authority figure in their eyes, then you would be super successful. Like you would just be like on a yacht right now. Okay, if you can do this, if you can implement this, a yacht will spawn in front of you. I guarantee it. I'm joking, but yeah. And so that's how that works. And so one thing I want to kind of hit on is when it comes to their brand levels, why are you paying the person with the smallest brand the most money? You know, like, shouldn't you be paying Iman the most money? He has the millions of followers. He has all the girls, all the women. First, you have to ask yourself, why do they have the smallest brand in the first place? Okay, it's because they're creating content that solves a specific problem to a specific person. Okay, which means they aren't looking for lots of people to pay them little money, but little amounts of people to pay them big money. Okay, understand this. I made a whole YouTube video on how to create content that actually gets clients, and the whole point of the video is for you to understand the difference between you worrying about the quantity of people who can afford what you're selling, or the quality of people who can afford what you're selling. Okay, and so that's that. And so the last thing I want to hit on is, how would I go about building an offer from scratch, from complete zero? Okay, and so I used to work in a gas station, and this is what I would do if I spawned back in the gas station and I needed to make a couple M's. The first thing I would do is become useful and just gather skills. And so this is kind of like not really something I can give you like a cookie cutter thing to do, but what I'd recommend is just kind of get in the trenches for a little bit and just kind of figure out what are specific problems people are having, how to solve these problems. That might mean that you need to start a done-for-you agency and become a general problem solver for a little while, and then from there just gather skills and just gather the knowledge and the tools, the toolbox needed for you to become good enough to solve a specific painful problem to someone. Okay, and so once you gather skills and become someone useful, you want to pick a painful problem, a problem that's painful enough to solve. Okay, and from there, what I'd leverage is a front-end infrastructure model, where you're putting a front-end infrastructure and charging downselling them on a retainer on the back end, because you've gathered the skills and the information needed for you to craft this offer, so you can actually deliver on it and actually keep selling to the same customers because you're delivering results to them. Okay, and so once the demand exceeds the supply, okay, you want to add a leveraged front-end offer. And this is where I'd switch into the front-end coaching model, because if you're having so much demand for this one thing, what you can do is kind of dilute the demand in between different offers and different levels of your of whatever you're selling. And so since coaching is pretty leveraged, especially if you have people on your team who are doing the coaching and you're not the one that's doing it, then yeah, I'd recommend you switch into this front-end coaching model. And from there, you can help people, mentor them on whatever it doesn't have to be like a mentorship. It can be kind of like a program where you kind of put a bunch of assets together in a kind of like a course framework, and like you kind of have like weekly calls. Can it be like that type of thing for your front end offer? And then from there, once they become qualified enough and they make money, if your thing's good enough, you can start putting them send them up into your other program, which is placing systems, talents, and infrastructure into their business, which then you can descend because you're managing it for them on a monthly basis. And then from there, this is wrong. Just ignore that. I'm going to crop that out. But from there, what I recommend is essentially keep all this the same and just add an equity model. Okay, because once you become so good at what you do, and you become good to the point where you know if you do X input, it's going to create X output, and you know how to scale the businesses in your market, then you want to take pieces of these companies and work with them as a partnership, and be putting more resources and creating a portfolio of companies, creating acquisition.com, and just becoming a billionaire. Okay, and so that's what I'd recommend, is you have something leveraged on the front end. From there, people start making money. You can ascend them up into this second tier of your program, which is where you place an asset into their business. You kind of do some more hands-on stuff. From there, you manage whatever you place into their business. You do something leveraged for a recurring fee per month. And then the ones that qualify, the ones that you want to work with, you can do an equity model, a partnership with them. Okay, and this right here is how you scale multiple 7 figures, even 8 figures per month. Once you have a portfolio of companies, like just think of Alex Ramosi, acquisition.com. Once you have a portfolio of companies that compounds, bro, oh my God, you're set. And so that said, just make sure whatever you do not do this shit, bro. Do not fucking do this. Do not listen to these people telling you to do this. What you need to do is think outside the box, become a problem solver, solve a problem, create another problem, and charge them even more or even less money to solve that other problem you just created for them. Okay? And once you solve more problems and you're really good, you're goated at what you do, the world is yours. Okay? The world is in your hands and it's at your mercy. Okay, and so we just actually launched our free AI Skilling Specialist School community completely for free. We just launched a course in there. If you want insights right away, it's join. It's the first link in the description. It's completely for free. And I hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, join the community, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.